of us. So happy to see that. Hello. By now, you probably realized that all the keynote speakers were asked to start their talk with the raise of hands. So I'll do the same. Can you please raise your hand if you feel internally that you want to change the world? Yes, let's change the world. Cool. OK, so I'm Joanna Chwastowska. I'm one of the engineering leads on DeepMind Health team in London. And our team's mission is to change the world. I feel extremely privileged to be a part of that change. And you know, observing you here today and talking with a lot of people, I have this sense that most of us really want to change the world. If that is true, what is actually causing the world changing to happen so slowly? Why don't we see breakthroughs happening day to day? Why are we not, astonished by all the change happening all the time? And today, what I would like to share with you is a couple of thoughts around where I feel are the roadblocks on that world-changing attitude, and what each of us can do to actually be the part of the change. So by no means this is, official guideline. I think it's just a set of observations that I have collected up till now that I would want to share. To start with, there are so many problems worth solving. Even if we look at the healthcare space, there is so many problems to solve, especially if you've ever visited a doctor, if you ever have been, unfortunately, hospitalized. You, being a technical person, can have this sense, this feeling that there is so many things that can be improved. From, looking at what ML can do now, and, thinking about all the potential there is for early detection of the diseases, through actually directing the care where it's needed, when it's needed, and acting in a timely manner, to preventive care, actually making sure that most of the people never end up in a hospital, if possible. So from the vast majority of the problems, how do we choose the ones that we will focus on? On our team, we are trying to answer two questions. First of all is around the impact. So what are the things that we can focus on where we can, at the moment, make actual change, where we can help people and do something important? And then the second part is, what is our unique strength? So what is that we have on our team? What are the unique skills? What is the technology that possibly we have that we can apply to solving the problem, and through that, make the important change? Coming back to healthcare, this is a very complex space. Not only because the healthcare on its own is a problematic, huge domain. People, do whole studies and specializations, and they spend 15, 20 years actually learning things about all the things that can go wrong with us humans. But moreover, this space is still very paper-driven. In UK, NHS is one of the biggest buyers for fax machines, for pagers. For the ones who don't know what the pager is like a mobile phone 30 years ago. It has no other function than just telling you someone needs you, call the number. And I'm kidding you not, doctors are still carrying pagers with them. And when the help is needed, they will just say, they probably get out of the operation room, and they will have 10 numbers to call because there is 10 people needing their advice. How do they prioritize? How do they know whom to call first and where to direct the help? On our team, we decided to focus on a problem that is called acute kidney injury. When you are hospitalized, it may happen that you develop additional conditions while in hospital. Acute kidney injury is one of those conditions. The interesting facts about it is that it affects approximately 1.5 million people a year, a world, causing death. 100,000 deaths in UK alone, and 1/4 of those can actually be prevented if only detected and acted on early on. And if you think about what are the basic treatments for acute kidney injury, they are quite simple. If only the doctor knows that you have a problem, it's enough for them to provide you with fluids. A glass of water is a treatment. And it's enough for them to provide you with antibiotics, just to make sure that your body is protected, so nothing grows on top of your problems that you already have. And we have built and we have started to collaborate with UK trusts to build the application that allows us to detect in an algorithmical way by simply connecting to the hospital systems and analyzing the blood samples from patients. We can alert the doctor and tell them, please pay attention to this patient. They actually may be developing acute kidney injury. The patient is sick. Please help them. Yes. Oh, sorry. Changing the world is hard. I will dare to say you will not change the world alone. You will need a team of people to do something with them together. It's true since for the very first time, a group of people, long time ago, has agreed to collaborate to kill a mammoth. That was a very interesting invention. Up till then, animals were hunting alone. People were the first ones who can actually agree on a plan and act together. Mammoths were very surprised. So from then to taking a human being to the moon, all that history is the history of teams that have built something together. Teams of people who were strong because they had different skills, as Eva mentioned. None of us has everything it takes, but a group of us can probably have it all. And when it comes to teams, it's not only leaders and it's not only people who are building teams that are responsible for the strength of the team. Each single one of us is responsible for the decision, am I joining this team? Is this team for me? And when I'm thinking about the teams I'm joining, I try to evaluate them on different angles. I try to think about the values that the team represents. Do I want to be the part of this project? Do I want to be the part of this company, first and foremost? What is the decision process like? And you as a leader has to be aware of how are you making the decisions, because if you don't know how you're making decisions, you are probably very prone to all the biases, changing your mind, and being very inconsistent, which is not what you want. But even if you are a team member, you are also responsible for challenging and for asking hard questions and for understanding how are decisions made on our team? How do we reach the conclusions? How do we decide? And finally, there is the growth aspect of things. If you think about the impostor syndrome as one of the things that probably most of you will experience at some point, it's very important to know that around you there is a team. There is a team you can count on. There are people behind you that will support you when you have a worse day. But there is also a team that will drag you up, and they will show you how much you can grow, and they will challenge you, and they will enable you to become the best of what you can be. If you would tell me, like this 12, 15 years ago, that at any point I'll be actually having a title of engineering coach, I would laugh. Engineering coach is not something that you get to do graduating from computer science. I was a real person. I was actually doing the proper coding and stuff. At the same time, through my career, I realized that there is only that much I can do, and that I'm actually quite good at enabling others to achieve more. So for now, I'm really proud of being an engineering coach, because if I can build a team, if I can enable the team to achieve great goals, this is also a part of my contribution. It's important to realize that on the team, there is no such team as side roles. supportive roles. This is one of the things I was really impressed with when joining DeepMind. Every single person I talked with during the interview process, be that from the recruiter to the front of the house person to the top-level manager, each one of them felt they are a part of the team. They are actually contributing to the big mission that we have. This was super empowering. So never thought of yourself. Even if you are an intern, you are a very important part of the team. Learn to learn. There are so many things that didn't exist when I was graduating. I couldn't prepare myself for Android and iOS. They didn't exist. Blockchain wasn't a thing, and very many various other technologies. And that will be consistent with your experience as well. So just be prepared to learn, and for others, create this environment where they can learn. And challenge yourself. Do not think, I'm not what I want to be. Think how today I can get actually a step closer to being what I want to be. Okay, so we have the problem that we want to solve. We have the team that we can solve it with. Now, how do we get around solving it actually? And for me, the main learning from working on a healthcare space is that although it's very natural to us as software engineers to think we have all the answers, we probably don't have all the answers. If I start to use my intuition about how to lay out the UI or how to best present the information in the comfort of my room in an office where I probably had a good night's sleep, although probably not with my kids, but yes, in general, if I try to use my intuition, planning the product for people who will be working 40-hour shifts, will be using the product, we're making life decisions, having someone actually potentially dying next to them, my intuition probably will be wrong. So how we work is we bring all the users, we bring clinicians, we have them as a part of our team. And with them, we make decisions that enable us to create something that is natural for doctors and nurses to use in the clinical environment. And as our team says, do not focus on the solution. Fall in love with the problem. Do not think that when someone criticizes or suggests the improvements to your product, they hate your product. Focus on what the problem is that you are trying to solve. Can you use what they are telling you to actually make a better decision? Ask users, observe them, test your assumptions, and iterate. This way, you have a chance to actually produce something that people will love as a product. Finally, oh, sorry. Clicker decided to remove. Oh, okay, cool. If you think about DeepMind's mission, this is the thing that actually made me join the company. DeepMind's mission is to solve the intelligence and use it to make the world a better place. And when you have such a mission, it's very empowering on one hand. On the other, it can be really paralyzing, because where do I start? How do I do it? What my learning is it's great to have a big mission, but you have to make first step. And after the first step, you have to make another step. And never stop while making this progress. So figure out what is important for you, and then just start acting. Changing the world will be hard. If you feel comfortable with what you're doing, you are probably doing it wrong. Challenge yourself, stretch yourself, put yourself at risk. It's okay to fail. I failed multiple times, and I will fail multiple times. As long as I learn from those failures, I'm actually becoming stronger and stronger with each of them. So I think changing the world is really possible. You just have to decide on the problem, build the team you will be solving the problem with, Grow yourself and others. Put user at the heart, at the center of what you are doing. And finally, move forward and keep moving forward, no matter what. If we all do that, world will be a better place. A small bit forward every day. Thank you.